cracked chicken in the Ninja Foodi or any pressure cooker you have. It is a excellent recipe, and there's many different versions. Well, I'm fixing to show you the version we found we like best, and as you can see, I make quite a bit when I make it, and that's because it gets eaten every time. And it's an excellent recipe. There's so many ways to serve it, I'm not even going to suggest. I mean, from a cracker to a sandwich to even grilling romaine lettuce and rolling it up in it. It's that kind of recipe. I'm also going to show you how to cook bacon in the Ninja. Although I said I'd never do that, someone soon after I said that said they gave me a tip on how to do it. It works excellent. So that should be a segment on its own, but we're not. I'm going to put it here in just a minute. I'm going to show you how to cook bacon in the Ninja that doesn't harm anything on it like I was worried about before. I'm John Sanders. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Jelly 007. Let's cook some cracked chicken. Okay, so we start the recipe by cooking the bacon. Now, you don't really need a whole pound of bacon for the recipe. You could get by with a half a pound or even less than that, depending on how much you want. Well, sometimes I cook the whole pound because I'll eat it either way. But what you do is you open it up, you cut it in half right down the middle, and then you put in pieces this long, and you can manage them a lot better in the Ninja. Now, the next thing you do is you hear it sear, saute, and then I go with medium, low. I'm not in a hurry, and I don't try and blast my bacon with a lot of heat. I cook it a little slow. I think that works best. Now, the one thing I want to say here is I spent 30 minutes or maybe longer than that trying to find the person that gave me this tip on how to cook bacon, and I could not find them. Please, if you're watching and you see me doing this method, and let me know where I can shout you out on another video, because this changed the way I cook bacon. And I said I'd never cook it in my Ninja because I don't want to air fry it. I think air frying gets it in your fan and all. Well, with this method that I'm doing right here, you don't need to air fry. You just put it in the bottom. It's no different than a skillet. Okay, so I've got half of that bacon in there, and I'll show it to you. And that is exactly what I do with it. Nothing else. Just simply drop it in there. Then I take something like this. Once it starts getting warm, it's pretty easy to break up and move around. And it cooks itself pretty much. Now, that's on low medium. I may raise that temp a little bit. But the point is, there's nothing wrong with the way this thing cooks bacon. But my point is, this lid's not down. That fan's not running. I'm not air frying bacon. If you've ever cooked bacon on a stovetop, you know bacon grease gets everywhere. Well, when it gets on that fan, it's going to be there. You're not going to get it off, and it'll cause it to be out of balance and stuff like that. One of the things I will say, that once that element comes on, it cycles on and off, you'll get some splatter. Maybe you're fixing to do it now, or it starts popping. Well, if you've ever cooked around a skillet, that gets on you. Well, you get the advantage of it being in this deep pot. Now, I'm not going to say it keeps it all in, but it keeps a lot of it in. Okay, so as you can see, the bacon's done. It cooked it perfectly, by the way, and for the record, you get a half a cup of some fantastic bacon grease out of a pound of bacon is what I got. I poured that off into here, and I left the bits and pieces in, but pretty much I poured all the liquid out. All 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts are in there, and that's about 5 pounds. 3/4 cups, or 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth. And I use chicken broth because, you know, I had it. Water's fine. I just use chicken broth, no big deal. So the next step is to put the lid on, lock it, turn it on, seal it, pressure on high for 15 minutes. And I know a lot of people cook chicken longer than that. I just don't. And I'm going to check it with the temp when we're done. And if it's not done, I've done it before, it's no big deal. You just put the lid back on and cook it a little longer. But we're looking for 165 in that chicken. I feel positive we'll be there in 15 minutes. Probably could do less, but I'm doing 15, and we're going to check it. And I will be right back when that, once that builds up. We're going to do a quick release, by the way. I'll be back then. Okay, there it goes. All we got to do now is do a quick release. And when that's done, be back, open it up. We're going to take some temp reads and see what we got. Okay, there it went. Let's see what it looks like. And it looks like pressure cooked chicken. So what we're going to do, I got to find some place to put this. I'll let you see in there a little better. But it looks fantastic. Or it looks like pressure cooked chicken. What we're going to do is pull those chickens out, assuming they are at the temp they need to be. And we're going to check that one right there. Oh, 205, 208. And I'm going to have to take another tool. We'll check another one just for the fun of it. Here's one that's on top. And we get one, I saw 148 there. 150, maybe I didn't. Let's see, let's do that again. Well, maybe I read that wrong because I thought I did. Maybe I saw it wrong, but nothing below 165. I thought I saw it, but I'm gonna triple, quadruple check 163, which is no problem. It'll carry over. It'll take it way past that. So the chicken's safe. There's no doubt. Anyhow, we're going to get that out of there and get it in this bowl. I'm going to get it shredded up, and we're going to go from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to show something because a lot of people cook chicken a lot longer. And there's really no need in it. If you watch right here, I'm going to hold this chicken up where if I go out the backside, you know, if you go out the backside, it's going to mess up the reading. It's really hard. I noticed in my video you couldn't see it from the reflection. Well, if you look, when I go down through this chicken, I'm 195, 2, 3, 190, 189, 187, and I can go all the way out the other side. And what you're supposed to do, or what I do, is you're supposed to drag it back when you go through the center or something and make sure it's okay, or above 165. Well, everybody needs one of these, and I stress it all the time. Okay, so here is the goal, is to shred this chicken. Now I got these gloves I use for barbecuing, and they work excellent, but you can use forks. You can let it cool a little bit, you know, and just get it shredded. That's it. You know, you just want it broke down. So what I'm going to do now is pull this out of the Ninja, and I'm going to pour this liquid into this Pyrex dish, and that way I have it and it is reserved. I'm going to put my chicken back in, and then I've got to get my ranch dressing packs out, which we're going to put 2 of those, and we're going to put both of these Philadelphia cream cheese in. So I'll be right back. Y'all hold up. I'm going to lower this lid where it'll stay warm. It won't hurt it. In other words, it's not cooking. I just got it lowered so it won't lose any more heat. Be back in a second. Okay, both packs of room temperature cream cheese. I've got both packs with the ranch dressing open them, using both of those. Going to put these in first, just like that. I'm going to dump this on top of it because all we're going to do is combine or mix this in. I may not have cut that low enough. I may have to do it again, but you get the idea. You just put all this in there and you mix it together. And then we're going to put, after I mix it a little bit, I'm going to add that 1 cup of cheese. And then I'm going to reserve or hold out that other cup of cheese. And I'm going to mix maybe some of it in, but some of it is also to go on top. So, as simple as this right here. Now this takes a minute. You have to kind of use a little bit of, just get in there with it and you get it mixed up, and it will be, it might take a minute like I said, but it's going to work just fine. And you got the liquid over there if you need it, but I'm not going to use it just yet. I'm going to mix this in, let that heat work on that cream cheese a minute, and in fact I may let it sit just a minute to do that, and then soon after that I'll add that 1 cup of cheddar cheese. So I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see, I didn't even realize it, but we're 25 minutes past when I pulled that chicken out. And you can see it's also still on keep warm. Well, that cream cheese melted up very nicely, and that ranch dressing blended in very well. So now I'm going to put in a little bit of this, maybe at a time. You could probably do it all. And in fact, I may, well, there it goes. Yeah, we're doing it all. So you put it all in at one time. But anyhow, then you just cut this in the same way. And we still got the other cup that honestly, we're fixing to do what only the Ninja can do. I mean, if you're using a different pressure cooker, it works fine all the way to right here. And plus, honestly, it probably is fine. But with a Ninja, once I get all this cut in real well, I'll sprinkle cheese on top of it, and we're going to hit it with a little bit of air crisp or broil or whatever feature to kind of melt that cheese on top, and we'll be ready to serve. But I'll be right back. Y'all hold up. Actually, we got to put the bacon in. Forgot that. I got to add bacon. Glad I caught myself at that. So anyhow, hold up. I'm not going to put all of that in there by no means. And but this is all I'm going to do is this right here. Just crumble up a few small pieces. Some of it may go on top with that extra cup of cheese right here. And then only what the Ninja can do. Now, if you're working with an Instant Pot or any other pressure cooker, this will work fine, just like this. But with the Ninja, you can drop that lid down, and we're going to put a little bit of heat on top of the cheese I put in top. And you can also see how well that bacon did. And the Ninja or anything will do that. I mean, that's an excellent, it's a perfect way to cook bacon. There's so many reasons. I mean, one is you don't get it all over you because you got the high sides. That's just one of the reasons. You heard all the rest of the spill. So I got to wipe my hands off. And I'm going to add a little bit of that bacon, cut it in, and then kind of flatten it out and put the cheese on. I'll be right back. Okay, so there it is. And by the way, there's the bacon. That's what I've used. And I'm going to sprinkle most of that on top. Not sure I'm going to get it all on there. I don't want to, overcrowd it with bacon. And I've already put a pretty good bit in there. And just to give you an idea, I'm not going to use all of this on the top. I'm going to end up with the top, say about like that right there. Maybe just a little bit more. I just threw cheese at the camera. But that's probably what I'll leave right there before I hit it with heat. But honestly, I'm going to cut in where I know I've got about that much left, because I want all of this cheese in there except for what I'm going to put on top. And that's just a good way of gauging. So I know I need about a quarter of this bag. Anyhow, I'm going to cut that in. I will be right back. Okay, there it is before the cheese, and take my word, I have tasted it. And that Hidden Valley Ranch, it works. It works with that cream cheese and that chicken and all the above. So, again, I'm just going to spread a little bit of here and put some bacon, a little bit of that bacon on here also. And then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of heat and make it where if you dipped it out, with a spoon and served it, it would be really pretty and excellent taste. That's why they call it cracked chicken. It is that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to sprinkle this about like that. You know what? We'll go ahead and add a little bit more. It's not going to hurt. And it also calls for green onions, like scallions. But we're not big on onions, quite honestly. And I never have scallions. Oh, well, not on scallions. And I didn't have any. So it would look a lot prettier with that, but we'd had to pick them off. So I'm going to lower that lid. And you can see let's see what we were at. 37 minutes since I pulled that chicken. And I'm not in a hurry. And I haven't been turning it on, take my word. We're going to do broil whenever I find it right here. We'll just leave it at 10 minutes because I'm going to sneak a peek. And I'll back it up where you can see that I got it set at 10 minutes. I'm just going to look in there every few minutes till it's melted. Looks good. I'm going to put my glass lid on, and it's going to be done. Now, if you'll notice, I didn't use any of that liquid. It's completely none of it. In fact, it doesn't need any liquid. In fact, I see some recipes where they do it different. I think I know this recipe works really, really well. I think it works better, and it makes a firmer. I guess it's depending on what you're doing with it, but there's nothing wrong with the way this one works. But if you wanted that liquid, you got it. Anyhow, I'm going to be right back in just a second. Okay, so this is about 2.5 minutes, and I'm going to stop it here. Here's the reason. We're actually using this tomorrow, and I've already tasted it. Take my word, it's fantastic. But at 2.5 minutes on broil, that's what you can expect. Now tomorrow, all I got to do is set this in here and put it on warm. And this right here, that is a go-to that you will never forget. And it's that good. It's really, really good. And I promise you, it sounds crazy, but if you take some romaine lettuce, look on YouTube, whatever, for a way to put it on your grill and you grill it and make like a wrap with that in it, it's something else. But I mean, you don't have to do that. Use it with crackers, use it with chips, use it on a sandwich, on and on. I'm John Sanders, and I appreciate y'all watching my video. Y'all come back to see me, and of course I'll put some stuff for you to link over here and a video for you to watch. But cracked chicken, there ain't nothing wrong with, and I promise you, you'll love it if you try it. In fact, one thing I want to say, I love for people to comment. I know I'm getting along on this. If you're on a cell phone, I don't know why YouTube does this. It's hard to find a comment section. A lot of people tell me this. If you're looking at it in this mode, not the sideways mode, but the straight up mode, you have to be in that. Scroll all the way to the bottom through all the upcoming videos, and you'll see a little section there that says comment. Please comment. Hey, if you think I'm telling you wrong, light me up. I'm telling you, this is a great recipe that you will love. So, love y'all all. Come back to see me. Bye-bye. Okay, just an added feature. The next day, after it had been in the refrigerator all day long, this is just to give you an idea of what it takes. It's been in there for 59 minutes and 25 seconds on keep warm. We're going to see what we got, and I'm going to have to lay the camera down because I got to get this open, but I got it. The handy dandy thermopen right in the center. Drag it all the way back, and that is, if you want it to be any hotter than 100, obviously 110, you need to let it settle a little bit. But that right there is probably, in most cases, would be servable. And it's 140 on the bottom. So that is just an added feature I wanted to show. That's exactly what it does in 1 hour, just sitting in the Ninja on keep warm. And again, you can leave it there, you know, as long until you need it. That's what we're doing. Anyhow, be back, or y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye. This time I mean it. I'm gone.